Welcome back to the Mindcrack. It is time to do a little more work on the small house, the starter house, whatever you want to call it. Someone suggested we call it the Death Starter house, and I think that's fantastic. And I think we've reached a tipping point where we now have more of the house made out of our chosen materials, which are quartz and coal, than there are made out of cobblestone and dirt. And I started using leaf blocks as well for scaffolding. So we've got more actual construction than we do empty spots where construction is going to go, which is good. It means we're beyond the halfway point. I've done more farming of... That's the wrong box. I've done more farming of quartz off camera. Ended up with about 10 stacks. I used all that I had. I think I may even farm twice. I don't remember. I've used a lot. Oh, I've got 3 in my inventory. And I added more to the house. So we've got a wall there. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on? Camera's glitching out. I did end up shaving the bottom and top off of this tri-farm right there. So I got a little bit from that. Not that really that many. Maybe like 2 stacks total. 2.5 stacks. But we have a new fragment here. And there's a big opening here because this is where one of the tree sections is going to go. And then we've got another tree platform here. This is where the spruces were. I made it a little bigger. And we've got a section of wall here. So we started out with a list of farms, and we still need to make storage and furnaces and enchanting area, all that kind of stuff. But we started out with a list of farms, and they were cactus, reed, wheat, carrot, potato, melon, pumpkin, oak, spruce, netherwort, and I forgot cocoa at the time, but I am going to add a cocoa bean farm for the dye, for wool, and the hardened clay blocks. And at this point, we only have 3 left to do, and those are cactus, melon, and cocoa bean. So we already have the blueprint for the cactus farm in the reed farm. They'll have to be every other, but essentially it'll be mostly the same. We don't need the water, so it'll be a little simpler. And we don't need as much cactus as we need reed. Its only real purpose is for dye. The melon farm will be very similar to this guy. So we have a blueprint for that. So those 2 should go very quickly. And the... oh, hello, Zed Camera. He's guarding our wheat in case vandals show up again to vandalize our nice farm that I don't like. I'm going to rebuild eventually. And the cocoa will be pretty simple. Cocoa is a pretty easy farm to set up. So, the reed and the melon and the cactus and the pumpkin, those will all require no replanting because you leave the bottom cactus, the stem regrows the melon. You can just channel it down through the hoppers, easy peasy lemon squeezy. The cocoa beans are going to need to be replanted. So I'm thinking that we should group the 2 that don't need replanting on this wall and the 1 that does need replanting on this smaller wall. So cocoa is going to go there. Melon and cactus will go on this wall, one above the other. But first, let's... I've added a lot more quartz to the thing, so I want to, while it's daylight, let's go outside and look at what the whole thing looks like from the outside. It's starting to look more like one cohesive thing. We're slowly whittling away the amount of scaffolding we have, and I'm having ideas about the overall form of it. I mean, obviously, it's a sphere. That's the form. But the way that I'm having ideas about how all the different fragments are going to be shaped and organized, I guess. So right now we've been making farms around the midsection here, sort of displaced above and below each other, but mostly around this middle section of the sphere. And then in order to break up the sphere shape, I put... Let me just make sure nobody's up here. And by nobody, I mean monsters. To break up the sphere shape, I made rectangular tree platforms, and they won't remain this flat. We just haven't done anything with them yet. That'll be part of the detailing phase. But it'll break up the rigorous spherical shape of the thing. It'll be kind of like, I don't know. I'm thinking like visually, it's like the bay where the ships fly into the bigger ship kind of thing. The big square opening and the round thing. I don't know. And there's another one on the other side. But we're gonna have these farms sort of disjointed and sort of above and below each other, kind of zigzaggy in this center section. And then the top is going to be more or less a cap, and the bottom a cap. So those will be, the top will be one shape, intact. The bottom is probably going to be 2 or 3, but mostly intact. And then these will be linked together. I have a lot of ideas, but first we got to finish these farms. We've got 3 left to do, and since I've already made essentially, and this looks cool, descending like this. You need like some dramatic music for that kind of shot. Seems very dramatic to me. Need some French horns and some tubas or something. Oboes. Let's go look at it from the other side while it's daylight. Yeah, this side, still a lot of cobble and dirt. After I finish the work for these farms, I'm going to use all the quartz I have to try and make a cap and to finish off this bottom. And then to see how much more I'm going to need at that point. We still need to do detailing. It's still very blocky. There's no stairs or slabs out of quartz or any of the chiseled blocks or any of that kind of stuff. But we're close to getting to that, which is good because I've been itching to work on that. But I think it's better just to sort of finish all the farms now so I can start stockpiling that stuff that I'm going to need for other things. Yeah, but it's starting to look pretty neat. And I have a silk touch pick, so at some point I wanted to put like some sort of fracture in the ice here and then have a mine shaft down there so that you could, like the earth fractured and you can see down into the mines. We can start on that sooner or later. And Guude has he put up an outline for where the UHC monument is going to go. So next time we can definitely set up where our map room building is going to go. And I've been kind of waiting on, well, I've had to do other things. I had to figure out exactly how big it was going to be, but I've been waiting on him to set out a plot for that because it's going to be quite big. Okay, so we've sort of done this before. Let's take a look. We're going to need sand for the cactus. And I went and farmed some. And some actual cactus, which I didn't actually have, and I picked up at the same time. So now we have some. And so we're going to need no water, but it basically will be the same as that. And we're going to put that on that wall with the gourds. Let's see. I don't need to plant anything for the gourds yet. Oh, one more thing to note. So when I was making the pumpkin farm, I talked about how I remembered when I was building the gourd farm in the lens, how I would have incidences of the pumpkins or the melons not growing when there was a block above them. And I tested it down there, and it seemed like they would grow with a block above them. Well, I was sort of remembering half right, and they won't grow if there's a solid block above the stem, not the place where the pumpkin or the melon is actually going to grow. But tilled soil counts as a transparent block or a partial block or whatever. It's not a full solid block. So these blocks right here are tilled, so they don't count as full blocks, so pumpkins will grow right there. Same with these and these. But when the pattern shifts right here, a pumpkin has never grown right there or right there because this soil right here, it's not tilled because that's where pumpkins are supposed to grow. Similarly, this spot right here, there's a piece of quartz right there, is blocking that stem from being able to grow right there. and also there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dead spots. So that's quite a bit of efficiency we're losing. And it's something I'll have to look into once we start detailing. I can fix that by putting a stair piece right there. Maybe when we add the details, there will be stairs along the outside or whatever. So we can fix it. This one, we'll have to shift that around. But anyway, okay. So let's make some farmages. Well, there she blows, and I think the overall shape of it ended up looking pretty cool and ended up really matching up with the shape of this slice of outer wall. I'm doing some chatting with the B-dubs, and I ended up spinning the melons 90 degrees so that they lined up with the cacti, in contrast to how we did it there. And I think it's actually a little bit more compact, as it were, a little bit more efficient. And I decided to just connect the hoppers together because I'm not going to have much of either. I don't need much of either. I just need these for potions and these for dye. So they're both going to go to this one chest. And there's plenty of hoppers here. It'll never fill up. Not while I'm here. Whoa! The time for gigantic individual farms will be much later. I want to finish a normal-sized project before we get on to a super project I may never finish. So here are where the melons are going to be. Let's go ahead and bump up the light levels until I get some permanent... Oh, we got a... Look at that. Speak of the devil. We have a melon right there. And actually, I think because this is the top level, that should have these guys on there. Yeah. And these may need to get shaved off. We'll have to take a look at that. But basically what I did, they're both on the same... or they're going to be on the same redstone signal. So the redstone signal is going to come up here, and then it's going to go into that block, push the redstone block down, and then send redstone signal back that way to... Whoa, okay, we're good. To activate the pistons down there. So we do both with the same signal. We can close this sucker up. And it looks like that. And they've all activated. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so that is, let's count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then we're going to go down. That's 7. Just remember that number. I always lose count when I'm trying to count these things out. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Some of the redstone signal will be getting sent to these hoppers, and when you send redstone signal to hoppers, if you weren't aware, it locks them down so that items can't flow through them. But since we're just sending a pulse from the button, it really doesn't matter. It's only going to slow it down for a second, so it doesn't matter. Let's see, we want that. Okay, so we did, I'm going to have to go back through and put the redstone signal on it, but that's 7, 8, 9. Okay. 10, 11. Right. Nope. Oh, wrong block. 10, 11, 12. And then, oh, I think I maybe went down a little bit too far. 12, 13, 14, and then let's bring number 15 one more out, because I have to add a repeater. So if we go that way, it'll make it. Well, no, I think it'll work. No, because we don't have space for the repeater. Yeah, I was right the first time, not the second time. My initial instinct is usually right, and I almost always override it and get things wrong. Okay, so that's 15. Repeater. And then block. And then from there, we could, I guess, go like that. Blop, blop to repeater. I think that'll work. Or maybe since the box is right there, we're gonna change the wiring anyway. Once great. I'm gonna change and update all the wiring anyway. Once we get the storage system done. Actually, let me put this back. And all of these buttons and boxes are going to be in the actual storage area. So we're going to be moving this anyway. So let's just go ahead and let's put that there. I think that was number 15, if I remember correctly. So let's put that there, and then we still have to put redstone in it. I have to do this twice, I guess. Probably a better way to do this. I could have set that up better. But we can double our counts on the way back. We can test it when we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I counted right. All right. All right. Okay, so then the only other thing we need to do really for this phase of the construcciones is put in some of these dudes. I may shave off the top of this to make it conform with the rest. We've got just one farm left to do, and that's cocoa beans to give us brown dye. And then after that, or maybe even immediately after I do this, I'm going to start filling in the top and the bottom. I'm going to have to farm, whoops, great. I'm going to have to farm quartz at least a couple more times, probably 5 or 6 more times. And it is getting harder and harder to find the stuff. You know, when we first rebooted the server, and I had never really had to farm for quartz before because it wasn't, whoa, gosh. I sprint jumped there a little bit. It wasn't really in our old world. I mean, people went to find new chunks to look for the quartz, but I never did that. I wanted to wait until we reset the map for real. So this is my first experience with quartz in the world. And we're running out of it. I'm not the only one doing projects with quartz. And I tell you what, man. That's 3 blocks high, so let's do it like this. It is hard to get a hold of. I had envisioned making the columns for my super house. It wasn't going to be probably the most prevalent block used, but it would have been maybe the secondary block for the whole build. For the basically the columns, the structural supports of the thing. I mean, it's Minecraft. You don't need structural supports. It would have been a visual thing, but yeah. I don't think I'm doing that anymore. It would take too long to farm it all, and that project is going to be way bigger than this one. So we're going to have to find a different block. The problem is there aren't that many blocks that have both stairs, slabs, and fences for that type of block. And in order to do like a proper amount of detailing for a significant part of your build, you need those things. More or less. I mean, there's some exceptions to that, where you can use things like fence gates and signs and things to make scenery, but with a lot of block choices, those things don't really fit in. And stone is a little bit too plain, and I didn't want to use a wood look, and that just leaves netherrack for a building material that has stairs and fences and slabs. So if we don't use quartz. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, because I really wanted to use the quartz. But we'll see. I don't know. I still have a while to decide about that kind of thing. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have let's go test. Let's go test that the hoppers are all straight and everything. Let's go up to the top and toss a few items on each side. See if we get them all back. Then we can test it, then we'll be done. And then next video, we will be heading back to spawn to pick out a plot and lay out the basic shape of our soon-to-be map room. Okay, so I'm going to put redstone in there. And then over here, we'll put quartz block. Pop down here. Whoa, gosh. Ah, cactus. Okay, quartz block. Then we'll put some cobbles. Oh, darn it. That's gobble. Your cacti. That's probably good enough. That's good enough. And all 3 blocks. Okay, good. Lovely. Jolly good. Jolly cooperation. And if that last one pushes, then it's all working. Okie doke, so I guess that's it. We've got another farm. We only have one left to do. The cocoa beans is going to be pretty easy, to be honest. So we may do something else that video, maybe some details. But next time we are going to start on the map room basics in spawn, and the video after that we'll do some work here. So hope you enjoyed the video. See you later. Take it easy. Have a good day. Bye bye.